everybody, I'm Alikona Bradford and I'm back to give you some tips and tricks on how to achieve your favorite celebrity looks. So what I'm going to be doing today is the Emma Stone makeup, and if you'll notice, I'm always using different models because I want to make sure that I'm doing people with different skin tones, eye shapes, and hopefully you can find somebody with similar features to your own, but keep in mind that anybody can do these looks. So let's turn on our light right away. This is Lauren, if I didn't get a chance to tell you guys before, and I've already prepped her eyes. I used a little bit of concealer with a red undertone to cancel out any of the darkness around her eye area. And now I am going in with some eyeshadow base. So go ahead and close your eyes. And we're using a synthetic brush because it moves around wet product really nicely and going from the lash line all the way up to the brow. And the look we're doing is going to be a center highlight of silver with a smoky eye around the outer area. It's kind of like a smoky eye, but like with a little bit of a twist because I don't like doing the norm. I like to change it up just a little bit. I like to work my way from the top all the way down. So I'm using a thick bristle brush and I am pressing color underneath her eyebrow. And what the pressing motion is going to do is build the color. I'm actually going to close both eyes for me. Perfect. So again, tapping the color and allowing it to build. And then once I get it to the intensity that I want, I can go ahead and buff. Okay, so again, pressing the color in, and the reason that we're pushing the color into the eyeshadow base, again, it builds, but doing the sweeping motion just takes the color off, which is cool when we're trying to blend it out, but not so cool when you want the color to be nice and pretty and vibrant. So now that we have our white on, I want to do what I like to call a buffing shade. Before I do that, we're going to do a little cheat trick that I like to do. Use some tape. Just open your eyes and look straight ahead in front of you. And then, shablam. Got that nice little upward angle, makes you look youthful, and it gives you a crisp line on the outer corner of your eyeshadow. Okay. So I'm taking a fluffy brush, and I'm going in her crease with something that's more flesh tone. And the reason I'm doing a flesh tone is because it brings the skin look back into the eye makeup. If you go from gray to white, it can be a little bit more of a harsher looking makeup, which is great if you want to do something for stage, but if you want to do everyday and you're avoiding that overly harsh kind of tranny look, which I love, by the way, so that has nothing to do with, you know, a critique or anything like that, but today we're just going for something a little bit different. So this helps minimize that look. And it carves out the crease right into the outer corner. And what this is going to do, I'm going to put a black on her, but it gives a nice smooth blend to the black because it's difficult to blend black out, especially into a white. It's a lot tougher. So to get the black to show up a little bit more prominent, I'm going to go in with a darker eyeshadow base. Today I'm using a brown because the brown will neutralize any blue tones that the black can carry. A lot of times black eyeshadows, for whatever reason, have a blue undertone to them. And I want more of a rich black. So having this brown base will help with that. And I'm only doing the outside corner, maybe a third of the way in. I'm painting like a line. So now I'm going to press the black right on this outside. And I'm going just to where my eyeshadow base is. So the difference between this makeup and the Emma Stone makeup is they made a really harsh line. And that's just the look they were going for, something a little bit more avant-garde. I like a blended look, so I'm going to buff it out a bit more once I get to that edge. So we've pressed our color in. I'm going to work it down, but keeping my line because I want a harsh line. This is the only part where I don't want to blend. So I'm going to blend it out, but I'm going to use a fluffy brush. You always want to blend with a fluffy brush. If you use a brush that already has your black on it, the black is just going to start to migrate its way up somewhere you don't want it. That's how you get the punched in the eye look. We're not going for that look today. So when she looks straight ahead, I can see exactly where her crease is, so I know how high to take the color. And now I know with her eye open, I can actually take the color higher. Following my tape, and then going inwards at a diagonal. I'm also using a fluffy brush and a white bristle brush. I feel like these MAC white bristle brushes move the product around a lot nicer than some of the brown bristle brushes. Each bristle is just a different type of hair. This one in particular holds color, but it also blends color out really nicely. Okay, so I have it blended out, but now I want to go back because I want to keep the intensity and I want the illusion of the dark fading to light, and we've kind of buffed out this bottom part. We have to go back and reapply more shadow and press it down, but stop about halfway so that way we still have our nice blend at the top. If you're ever doing black and a color, it's always a great idea to do black first, because if you do the color first, like say on the inside of the lid, and then you go with your black later, black tends to pick up the color. So instead of black, say I put blue in the center, then I will now get navy blue on this outside instead of black, or purple, it'll turn it plum. And plus it's easier to blend this way too. Especially black and gold. Black and gold will turn green so fast, so you gotta get that black in first. Blending and just making sure everything looks nice and clean. And you'll notice this is a clean brush, again, going back to my blend. Now I'm gonna go on the inside part of our eye with some more eyeshadow base with my synthetic brush. Going to close your eyes. And then, yeah, going right in that inner corner. Placing my eyeshadow base. Keep in mind, if your eyeshadow base is not a smooth blend, the shadow on top is not going to be a smooth blend either, because it's going to stick to whatever area is wet. So if you have a glob of wetness, then your eyeshadow that's dry is going to be a glob of now dry, clumpy stuff. So make sure you blend that out also. And again, just pressing the color in. I'm going back with my fluffy brush and then blending this inner corner. Gotta get a clean brush. I actually do have multiple brushes of the same style of brush just for this very reason, for time purposes. If you don't have a lot of time to get ready in the morning, instead of going back and forth and constantly having to clean your brush, sometimes it's just easier to have duplicates. Right. So just wiggling it down. Go back. With tinier brushes, you have a little bit more precision. Sometimes, even though I typically don't blend with a tiny brush, it's good for these little nooks. Alright, so we have our black laid down. Let's go in with the silver. This is the fun part. One of my favorite parts because it's such a pretty color. This is also a pigment. Pigments are a loose form of color, meaning they're highly concentrated. Go ahead and close your eyes. So you don't need a lot of product for the color to show up. And I'm pressing it right into the eyeshadow base. Because it's loose, if you start wiggling your brush back and forth frantically, it's just gonna end up all over your face. So you gotta be really careful with that. Now pulling it down. I personally like a very straight line, so I'll be a little bit more adamant about working this area. The other trick will be too, making sure that your stripe on both sides are even. You don't wanna have one that's a wide stripe and one that's a skinny one. Okay, so now we're going to take off the tape. And we're going to do underneath the eye, and then we'll clean it so it's not too much of a mess. But first, we have to, of course, add our eyeshadow base. So look up at the ceiling. Going in with my synthetic brush, putting a little bit of eyeshadow base down, so that way the color has something to adhere onto. Stick and look real nice. Look up. And we want to connect the bottom to the top in this little corner on the outside here. So I'll just lightly press it. And you'll notice, again, I'm doing the black first. Go ahead and look up at the ceiling. That kind of already fell for us underneath the eye here, so we don't have to be look at the ceiling again. And then one more time, pressing the color in. So she's got that nice stripe all the way down the center. Wipes are your best friend. These are one of my favorites because it cuts the makeup right away. You don't have to wiggle it too much back and forth the way you do with some of the other ones. You'll notice I'm a fan of MAC. I use a lot of MAC product. They've got great color pigments. You don't have to go back and forth into your palette a lot and dig out color because you put it on and it just sticks right away and shows up. A fluid line, this is a cream eyeliner. I like it because, go ahead and close your eyes. It is smudge resistant, it's water resistant, and if you don't have a steady hand with eyeliner, or liquid I should say, this is good because you can apply pressure to your brush and you won't get a wiggly line. Whereas with a regular liquid liner, because it's such a watery texture, if your hand shakes, so will your line. So I'm going all the way into the corner of her eye and pulling it out. I like to do the eyes open. You guys always see me do it with the eyes open, especially with liner, so you can see where the folds of the eye are. So that way if you do have texture to the eye, you just kind of go over the fold. It's more important to look straight, or excuse me, the liner to look straight while the eye's open versus when it's closed, because realistically not as many people see you with your eyes closed. And I think the issue with liquid liners, people put it on with their eyes closed, and then as soon as they open their eye, their line is doing one of these. So this will prevent all of that. And I'm also going to go in the waterline. That's another really cool thing about this eyeliner is you can use it in the waterline and it'll stay really nice. And then you might have to do 1 or 2 coats over this silver just because it is a little bit more vibrant and bright than the black. So we're doing that right now. So what I'll have her do is look down but out to the corner, and then I can get right inside. Move my head. Lifting up her lid so I get into lash root and look down in the opposite direction. And the reason that we're doing this is because it gives the illusion of a thicker lash line. Also, if you're putting on false lashes, it blends a little bit nicer because you don't see the pink of the lid, or excuse me, the eye waterline. Now I want to add mascara, and the reason I'm doing mascara before the lash is because what it's going to do is lift the lash, so that way it holds upward and stays into the false lash, and you don't have any stragglers straight ahead with the false lash up, because that's like just a dead giveaway. Okay, look down at the ground, please. Now Lauren's lashes are already naturally curled, so we don't have to go in with the curler. And my other favorite part is the brow. Because you'll notice I do have a brow tutorial, and I always say that the brows are like your curtains. The eyes are the windows to the soul, and the brows are your curtains, and you would not have shaggy brows and shaggy curtains trying to get a man. See? She agrees. She gave us a brow wiggle in her agreeance. If you're creating shape, that's when you want to use a pencil. If you're just filling in because you already have a fairly full brow, then that's when you use a powder. And I'll throw just a little bit of powder, not too much. Alright, go ahead and look down at the ground. I'm going on the outside of the eye first, and then pulling it all the way to the inner corner. And if you wave your lash around, the glue will get tacky, so you can just stick it on real fast. Whereas if you try to stick the lash on while the glue is really wet, the lash will just slip and slide and peel right. Perfect, and then we'll go back and add mascara so that way everything blends in together. I'm gonna do the other eye really fast so you can see that, and then we'll go into the face makeup. stunning fabulous, ready for the red carpet just like Emma Stone. In fact, you can even catch Lauren on the red carpet because she's a really talented host.
As is my girl Alikona.
Thank you. So tune in every Thursday to my YouTube channel. There's always going to be a new video out for you at 8 p.m. And you can also ask questions or just give me suggestions if you like. Follow me on Twitter at KissMyPassport or on Facebook and Tumblr at Alikona Bradford. So thanks so much and have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.